Hi folks, welcome to my video. Today we're going to talk about the common areas in which your silicone tail can be damaged and how to check for damage and some ideas for fixing it. So this is my silicone tail, and right now it's drying after being cleaned and using it for a gig, and you can see that I've got a fan inside of it with a noodle holding it up. And it's really important to dry your tails thoroughly. That is the number one way you're going to get damage, is mold. So I like to clean mine in the shower, and then I rinse them out, and then I use disinfectant wipes on the inside of them, and then I make sure that I have this nice small fan inside blowing air all the way through. And you can tell because the tail will puff up a little bit with the air. And mine has drainage holes in it, so sometimes I can actually put my hands near the holes and feel the air coming out. So in looking at my tail, when I want to look for damage, this is one of the first places I'll look after checking for mold, is the paint job. Sometimes the paint gets scraped off, and that's just normal wear and tear. I can see here that my fin must have gotten caught on something, and there's a little tear there. So that is something I'm going to want to fix, because it could spread or get caught on something else. Check out the rest of my tail. This is normal wear and tear. I've had this tail for 2 years now, and it's been working really well for me. I noticed that one of my fins here has come up off the silicone a little bit. It probably got caught when I was trying to get out of the pool. So I'm going to want to glue that back down as well, because that could make it more susceptible to getting caught and being pulled off. The fins are on here really well, as you can see. I can really pull on them. But the thing is that fins can get caught on things, on ladders, on pool decks, on rocks, like you would be surprised. So I've actually had some of my fins replaced when I had my tail fixed up after 2 years. Another place that you often see damage is the knee area, and the problem with this is that you don't often notice it when you're not in the tail, but when you're wearing the tail you can notice the cracks. So sometimes I'll put the tail on and put some chalk on the places that need to be fixed, and I know, because I already looked at my tail, that there are some places that need to be fixed, but as you can see, you can't even tell when nobody's wearing it. But you can see that there's some spots that I had fixed, and they're not quite the same consistency as the rest of the tail, because they've been scraped a few times. And that's just normal wear and tear. It happens. So sometimes you have to move it around to see if there's anything. And I probably won't be able to see it on this video. I'll probably need to put it on. Another place you want to check is the waistline, because waistline cracks can spread. So again, you want to stretch it, because that's the only way you're going to see it. And it's funny, because I happen to know I have a small little crack on here, but you can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it at all unless I'm wearing it. But again, that's where you want to check. Sometimes you have to check these things out when you're actually wearing the tail, because having somebody inside it makes it show up a bit better. So now I've got my tail flipped over, and I'm checking the back for damage. The back, if you have a dorsal fin, can sometimes be the spot where you're going to have damage. And I recently had my dorsal fin repainted, so it's actually looking really good. But it's little places like this, you want to make sure that it's still attached, and mine is, which is good, because the longer the dorsal fin you have, the easier it is to break, in my opinion. So we look at the whole dorsal fin, and sometimes paint will scrape off there. Again, we check out the fins. So on this side, everything looks connected. So it's just that one side in the front. Heel fins can sometimes tear off. I've torn mine off a few times, so these are actually brand new heel fins that Raven replaced for me back in, in January. So that's looking good. And again, you want to check your paint, because this is where, you know, you're dragging your tail. You may not mean to, but it happens. But my tail is looking pretty good. Keep in mind, though, that I have recently had it redone. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's important to check these things. Looking good. So this is the she creature tail, and this is the tail that I like to check. It's a little older, and it has a little more wear and tear on it, because it was bought used, and it's only been fixed I've had it for 2 years, almost 2.5 years, and it was old when I got it. So Things like, I noticed there's a little bit of paint coming up there, so I'm going to want to fix that. Another thing is with these designs, sometimes you get a little split here, so I'll fix that. And I check it, and the paint is looking good still on the fin itself. The dorsal fin on this tail is looking good. I noticed there's a little tear right here, so I'm going to fix that. You can see the focus there. And that's just normal wear and tear and a little bit of paint coming off there. It's not bad considering how much we use this tail, you know. Waistlines, again, are always the trickiest. And this one has been redone a bunch by me, but eventually I'll want to have it redone by Raven because I actually want it to be a little bit taller. Birds in the background there. But yeah, the front of it is looking pretty good too. So in terms of doing fixes on your tail, you want to talk to your tail maker first because all tails are different. The silicone is different types of silicone. It gets cuts with different things, and it's important to know what you're dealing with because the fix you do may not actually stick, and your tail may also have a warranty, and trying to fix it yourself may void the warranty. But generally, it's some form of silicone. I will say that direct silicone does not usually cure to old silicone. It has a green period, so that doesn't work. But products like Silpoxy, or you can actually phone Dragon Skin yourself, so Smooth On, and ask them like what products to use to fix your tail. And there are different types of caulking adhesives if you don't have access to Silpoxy, which those of us in Canada can't get it easily, that you can use to fix things. And then it's just a matter of using pigments and paint thinners and things like that in order to get the right texture, and you can fix things yourself pretty easily for a spot check. If you have something major like your waistline needs to be replaced like mine, or a fin needs to be replaced, it's really good to check with your tail maker. So I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight into care and maintenance for your mermaid tails.